Lisa B here with Medicaid and Budget Update. I'm just going to get right to the point. Governor Ayotte and New Hampshire Republicans claim money is tight. The current draft of the New Hampshire budget has tons of cuts, but what you might not know is how we got here. A closer look reveals that there's been an erosion of ethical responsibility on the part of New Hampshire Republicans and Governor Ayotte. Basically, they're abandoning working people and vulnerable Granite Staters. And I will tell you point blank, New Hampshire is actively transferring your tax dollars over to people who are wealthy. Let me show you part of the reason why money is so tight. One of the reasons is because on December 31st of 2024, the interest and dividends tax ended. In 2024, $184 million in revenue came into New Hampshire's general funds from the interest and dividends tax. So what is the interest and dividend tax, you might be wondering? Well, that is a tax on earnings from investment portfolios. And that is now gone. So people who can actually afford to pay their fair share are no longer being asked to do so. So you're probably wondering, lawmakers have to be looking up for that lost revenue. So now that they've let your neighbors who have investment portfolios off of the hook from paying their fair share, where are they looking to go? That's bubble number 2. That's HB1 and HB2. Those are the names for the budget bills. They are looking to extract revenue from Medicaid recipients through Medicaid premiums. So they are now asking a mom on Medicaid with 2 kids who might be working at Walmart or a pizza parlor full-time to pay $230 per month to keep enrolled in Medicaid. And since that mom right now today is probably worrying about the way, how is she going to pay a utility bill or buy food, that $230 monthly premium is going to drive enrollment in Medicaid down. And that is really what is behind the Medicaid premiums and the Medicaid work requirements. You should know that people on Medicaid, 65% of them are already working. And the people on Medicaid who aren't working, it's because they're either too sick to work, that's why they're on Medicaid, or they're caring for a loved one who is either a person with a disability or a senior citizen. So people on Medicaid do work. They don't have spare money to pay Medicaid premiums, or they wouldn't need to be on Medicaid because they would be in the marketplace. So what is another way in which New Hampshire Republicans and Governor Ayotte are actively transferring your tax dollars over to people with investment portfolios and people who can pay their fair share? They're doing it with this bubble right here, bubble number 3. This bubble, which might be hard for you to see, references SB 295. SB 295 is a bill that would eliminate the income caps to be able to access the education freedom accounts, which are also known as the school vouchers. It's the school voucher program. They are looking to give out $36 million in these $5,000 chunks to families to send their kids to private schools. What New Hampshire lawmakers don't want you to know is that 75% of people who get this $5,000 per year were already sending their student to a private school. And I want to ask you, how many families can make up the difference between the $5,000 you get for the Education Freedom Account funds and the actual true cost of tuition? I know most families can't make up that amount of money, but yet lawmakers are anticipating to give out $36 million to people who can already afford to send their loved ones to a private school in 2026 and $55 million in 2027. So that is another way in which New Hampshire Republicans and Governor Ayotte are looking to give more of your tax dollars to wealthier people. Your property tax bill stings. It really hurts. My mom is having a hard time paying that tax bill. But those property taxes are directly tied to giving tax breaks to the wealthy. We've stopped asking them to pay taxes on their investment portfolios, and we're giving them $5,000 in money to pay for schools that their kids are largely already going to. So what do you need to do? You need to call the governor's office, and you need to call your New Hampshire rep and your New Hampshire senator and tell them. You can show up at the State House. Make your point of view known. Tell New Hampshire lawmakers, no cuts to Medicaid, no work requirements, and no Medicaid premiums. When people who can't afford to pay taxes are not paying their fair share, we will not be generating revenue from people who are already struggling. Say no and no and no again to Medicaid tax cuts. We need to tell New Hampshire lawmakers to bring back the interest in dividends tax, and we need to tell New Hampshire lawmakers to tax the people who can't afford it, and to use our property tax money for the common good, like supporting struggling families on Medicaid. Start making noise, show up, call. Peace, and thank you for your time.